J-Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Hey, I know I ain't been through all week. I had to get my wisdom tooth pulled earlier this week. My face has been swollen. It's still a little swollen over here. You can tell it's swollen because I got the lines that look like I got Botox. My old age lines are starting to smooth out. See right here, I look pretty young, you know what I mean? Might need a little scoliosis on both sides, and I might look about 10, 20 years younger, you know what I mean? Anyway, no, it still hurt though, and I'm still a little swollen, but I'm here, man. We got to talk. Too much stuff been going on, man. People crazy out here these days, man, and I don't know what's going on, but we're going to get into a few things, man. For one, man, it seemed like everybody a sellout. A lot of things, people just giving up, taking the money and run. And what I'm talking about on this particular topic is Madden. EA Sports. It's in the game. How many people grew up hearing that? Well, here's the deal. EA basically became Star Wars Madden Company because that's pretty much all they've been doing lately. And yeah, it make money, but it's no longer innovating the games anymore. You know, consoles are pretty much dead. They all about microtransactions, getting extra money from the customers, releasing games that ain't even finished. It's just what they call, this is what I've learned. I'm over here trying to turn my damn air on. It's hotter than a little bit over here. I got some on me. Anyway, it's called in-shitification, man. It's when these big companies get a hold of something, it just try to get as much money as possible, squeeze it out, quality go down. I ain't played Madden. What's the last Madden I got? 17. That's the last Madden I got, man. Madden and them video games, they a ripoff these days, if you ask me. Even 2K with the VC and all this stuff is just crazy. And let's see. So they sold this game, which is insane, that these companies are getting the value that they are. But it seems that there's no value being returned to gamers. I ain't going to stick on this subject long, but I just think it's kind of crazy that everybody pretty much selling out over here. Before I get to that, what's up, Rashonda? How you doing, sis? Hope everything good with you. Young Slim, what's good, boy? You see, I look like Laura Loomer with my Botox. Shy Girl, what's good? How you doing, sis? I'm hanging in there. I had to come through. I know people been and forgot about you these days, so try to at least come through once a week right now. Woo! I'm burning up now. Good grief. Pepper, what's good from NYC? Oh, man, I forgot to put in the damn... I meant to put the powers back, man. The trailer was released. That was the main thing I meant to put in the dang on comments. We'll get to that next, but they finally released... Oh, my goodness gracious. They finally released the trailer and the date for Power Book 4 and Force, and we about to get to that next. But what up, Goody McFly? What's good with you? I'm glad you caught it as well. You said finally caught another live, bro, waiting on that Power. I'm about to talk about Power Book 4 next after I just finish up talking about what happened with Madden and EA Sports. So they sold. I can't believe. I wonder what John Madden would think. Here's the thing, man. I'm an OG gamer. I'm the first generation of gamers that made gaming big money. Okay, all of us Gen Xers that grew up with a Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, all that. Well, I remember on the Sega when they had Joe Montana football. Joe Montana football was the number one football game you could get. And Madden came out. And it wasn't better than Joe Montana, but Joe Montana stopped his contract. He stopped his contract and being greedy, I guess. I don't know. Madden came in, and next thing you know, because it was Madden, then Madden 92, Madden 93. I remember getting Madden 93 for Christmas. It's still one of my favorite Christmas presents to this day. But who would have thought that this game brought this company to a $55 billion valuation? And what's worse, the worst part about it all to me, bring my screen up. You know what the worst part about it all to me is that Saudi Arabia investors bought Madden. They don't even play football or like football. They own Madden. Pretty much, let me tell y'all something. The U.S. is dying and everything is for sale. It's just like when Russia was dying and the oligarchs and everything was from sale, even the missiles. We damn near there. I know it ain't just based off of Madden, but I could go down the list of so many things that we selling out, from water companies to all kind of stuff. Your local water, the water for Indianapolis is owned by Nestle. The city water is owned by Nestle. Like, why? In Chicago, the parking meters is owned by, I believe, Saudi Arabia also. And then the other investor is Jared Kushner, who is Donald Trump's son-in-law. So you saying Jared Kushner and Saudi Arabia owns EA for $55 billion? Wow. Wow. All right. Well, I ain't gonna get into the whole article. You all get it, and if you want to read it, you can get into it. But yeah, man, that's messed up. You say Israel is sucking us dry. Well, I think everybody getting a piece of this action, because it seems that anything we got going on is for sale. That's part of the problem with capitalism, is that even if you are a public, especially a public company, it's almost you have to sell if investors come with an offer so big you can't refuse. And that's the problem, is that they can just come with offers you can't refuse now, and you got to sell out. I'm working on something so I can sell out. Who want to buy my catalog? Hey, Young Slim, Joe Montana Sports Talk Football was fire. It actually, in my opinion, looked better than Madden for a long time, because original Madden had little bitty people in it. What made Madden better is it had all of the details of the stats. And that's what pushed it ahead in the beginning. All the teams and stats. I remember when you win the Super Bowl, you could get on the field goal bar and make it fall down, shake it and stuff. But anyway, Joe Montana, he blew it, man. He had a better product and blew it. Goody McFly, everything for sale, bro. Hey, man, that's a fact. It's just a sad fact, man. It's like having your house and everything in your house, all your possessions, You got to now have a garage sale. Like, damn. Mike Hudson, I'm on 6-minute delay, but glad I caught you live. Just got off Madden. Hey, that's what's up. I mean, you let me know. I ain't played Madden in a minute. I still play 2K, although I am kind of frustrated with 2K because it's damn near the same thing with 2K. It's very little innovation anymore. I guess maybe it's very little you can do, but the microtransactions and all that stuff, trying to build up the players, do this, do that. I mean, so far on 2K, I probably already spent $140, like including the game. Like, that's crazy. I refuse to put more money in that game. I already feel bad saying that. Pepper, what's good? Foreign investors, they own most of the real estate in NYC. Man, foreign investors own most of the real estate across America. That's where they get some of these companies, BlackRock and all of this, and Blackstone. But they'll say, but these are American companies. But who own the majority in them? And that's how they get you. You get these other companies to buy up everything. And if you buy into the majority of all these other companies, you pretty much got it. It's really kind of messed up. Let's see. Goody McFly. No, bro, that 2K NFL for 20 was that joint. That's what killed Madden. Or rather, that's what it really killed everything. So I'm going to go on to this last comment. Hey, foreign investors got cash to pay. And Slim. So here's the deal. I think this was in 2005, actually. 2K came out with an excellent product, a real game for $20 or $25. What was it, $20? They came out with 2K5 with Terrell Owens on the cover when he was with the Eagles. And then they came out with 2K5 for the NBA with Ben Wallace. That's when I went back to 2K because I had actually, for about 2-3 years, was messing with live. I had went back to live. I had with 2K for a minute, 99, 2000, then back to live, then 2K. And when it was $20, that was the end of it. That killed live forever. NBA Live never recovered because the NBA wouldn't grant them an exclusive license like the NFL. So Madden was done. They were in trouble. Better game, better price, better product. It was over. And then what they did, instead of innovate and compete, they went to the NFL, offered them a bag of money, and said, give us an exclusive license. We're the only ones that can produce an NFL game. And so they rigged the system. And ever since 2005, Madden, EA, has been the only football game with NFL license that you can buy. And it ruined the landscape. Now, 2K is the only basketball game you can buy, but that's not because they got an exclusive license. They were just so good, nobody bought the other product, and the other product went out of business. That's how it should happen if it's going to happen that way. You don't go and cut the nards off. What the hell? That's so fruity. Anyway, that's so, oh man, you know what it is from our generation. What would we call that? I had to tell somebody that today, man. They was acting so, man, some of these dudes getting their feelings for nothing, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm on the phone. I'm talking to a dude. This supposed to be a comedian. This dude blind. And we talking or whatever. And I see the new Corvette in front of me. And I'm like, dang, man, I can't believe, people pay $100,000 for that car when it first came out, the new Corvette, because it was a shortage in supply, and now you can get them for like $40,000 or something, $50,000. He like, well, that's because when they first came out, they were made of metal, but now they made of plastic. I'm like, no, that ain't how it go. The frames. He said the frame. Anyway, this is stupid, but I say, I'm going to look it up. I don't need it. Anyway, people get caught in their feelings over silly stuff. Over. I like, man, you ain't make it. I ain't make it. What's the issue? Anyway, man, everybody get too tied up, too emotional on nonsense, man. You know, especially us men, we gotta do better than that. Anyway, moving on. I see I'm starting to have some latency issues, but is it clearing up? Oh my goodness, I don't know what's going on with my internet speed, but all right, let's get to this Power. They got the new trailer for season 4 just dropped. Where's my? I'm pulling up my trailer. I'm gonna go on Instagram. Let's see Tommy. Let's see. So y'all tell me, what do you think is gonna go down for season 4 of Power? It's a lot that can. Oh my goodness. There we go. So unfortunately, this is the final season for Power Book 4. Oh, this is the wrong. All right, I'm trying to multitask here. Give me a second, man. But what we see, here we go. And I'm gonna put the link in the description if anybody want to come up and chat. All right, let me do them. I'm trying to do a couple things here, y'all. Let's see. All right. Oh, they didn't change the. All right, there we go. Boom, boom. There we go. And boom. All right, there go the link in the description. Anybody want to chat about Power or any of these other topics we're going to talk about tonight? And let's break down the new trailer for Power. Tommy, what you got? No, I don't want to play. The last shot. Hey, Power.
Get ready, because it's dropping now.
Here we go.
It's time for you to be baptized into this life. Just like Kanan did for me and Ghost. That's a story for a different time.
There's a goddamn street war between the Marquez cartel and CBI.
Pasa, muchachos.
You need to watch your back.
Tommy gonna blow all this shit up. He's my partner, bro. He also the reason motherfuckers getting shot. I'm like the Santa Claus of powder.
Just get him talking. We can move in before he tries anything. Is anyone with me, Tommy?
No, he's a lone wolf now. Whoa. You got nerve, Egan. I'm gonna burn that motherfucking coalition to the ground before I let them take it from me.
Don't burn it down. Take it back.
I will always be here for you. I love you, my son.
I knew that when I come sending you home, I'll be waiting for you. Make him suffer.
It's gonna be the battle of my fucking life.
Well, there you have it. Friday, November 7th. It's on. Here's the deal. How many of y'all think Tommy gonna live through the series? Who you think gonna live through the series? For one, his mama was trash. Give him hell, Tommy. Give him hell, Tommy. he go shooting up a church. He gonna give him hell, all right. Hell giving him. But anyway, I don't know, man. I would like for Tommy to probably not live through the series, to be honest. I mean, Tommy's done so much, gotten away with everything. I mean, unless he changed his life, I would think he shouldn't make it. That's my opinion, though. I would say, damn near none of them should make it. Diamond Samson. I mean, a lot of these characters, they could have easily been got because of the locations they are. Everybody know where they are. So I think that they could be taken down and getting taken out. I saw Vic look like he was about to drown in the trailer. So it could be that they framing everything that way so that it builds anticipation and excitement, which, I mean, I get it. Young Slim, you ain't seen the last episode of Force? You thought it was the weakest? Oh, man, you tripping. It's definitely better than Tawik. If you like book 2 and then you talking about Force, you tripping, man. Anybody that like Tariq or believe this little kid is going to an Ivy League school and is the kingpin telling grown-ass Mary J. and Kane Tejada what to do and making on, you tweaking. You tweaking. It's not, it's goofy. He didn't even drive until when? He running around making all these moves on the train. Book 2 is the worst of all of the power shows, in my opinion. It just doesn't hold with me with Tawik. He ain't never fought nobody. When was he training with weapons? All of a sudden, he's an assassin, sniping people. He ain't afraid of gunfire. He just with Kane Tejada murking people. Come on, man. And then at the end, he figures it all out. He got the operation sold up tight. He better than Ghost. I'm Ghost. He couldn't figure it out. He getting it wrong, making it do. Man, that show is all over the place. They putting drugs in the bricks on the roof of the school with a digital locker. And who installed that? What contractor they hire for this? Yeah, man, I can pick that show apart so bad people be mad at me. And then his white boy Tommy, he walk up to dudes on the porch, start smoking with them, and then they working for him. Come on, man. It's Young Slim. When you people like yourself say that this the weakest show, you tweaking. You tweaking. Straight up. I can see you don't like it. Hey, everybody is their own opinion. But Tawik, if you think that was, come on, man. Come on with the jokes. In my experience, I don't see how Tawik would have had any respect trying to do that. But I guess things have changed now. This is the skinny jean dope boy era. Maybe they do let people like Tawik be bosses. But in my day and era, I guess I'm old. Man, he would have. Yeah, that's so laughable. Anyway, Damian Kinney, 1 minute Tommy trying to keep his nephews out of life. The next, he baptizing them into life. I was going to comment on that. That was messed up. He talking about, I'm about to bring you in like Kanan did me and Ghost. He's still reminiscing. He's got to be, how old, 50? You still reminiscing on when you was a teenager with Ghost and Kanan? You ain't realized this ain't the life? Why would you give him a machine gun? He done already got shot. Oh my goodness. But, Tommy is just nuts. Damian Kinney, you say Tommy gonna be the end, gonna be ended or fake his own ending again. See, if he fake his own ending again, that's going to be like disgusting in a way to me. I would like him to, because they did it already. And how many times, especially in this day and age, surveillance world, he ain't a billionaire or whatever. How are you gonna keep faking your death and stuff and getting away with it? I just think that's just a lot they asking for the audience to believe. I hope they don't do that. Um, anyway, Ambi Bambi, what's good, mama? How you feeling? Hope all is well. Goody McFly, you say Tommy get 3 series and Ghost get 1 is crazy. Yeah, now that is crazy. We could become conspiracy theorists for a moment, but I will say one thing is true. Sometimes you can go further in life and make more money in life if you kind of just go with the flow sometimes. And I will say that Omari Hardwick did go with the flow for a while, which is why he wasn't getting paid that much money for a series lead. And when he finally did speak up, the damn show was over with and they killed him. So maybe he should have spoke up earlier or something. Because, he might have gotten that money, been happier, not got killed off. Or sometimes, I don't like this though, but if you don't speak up and just go along with the flow, hopefully you can stay on and get more. That is a way of thinking. But then you're putting everything at the mercy of somebody else and deciding hopefully to reward you, which doesn't always happen. So, Stephen Harris, Power Raising Canaan is better than book 2. I agree. If I was going to rate the Power shows, I might say Power Raising Canaan is the best. OG Power, it's between the OG Power and Raising Canaan. The OG Power did kind of fall by the wayside in the later seasons a little bit. It was kind of hit or miss on some of the episodes. But between Raising Canaan and OG Power is the best. And then, well, I'm going to pick one since they only got, 4 shows. So I'm going to pick one. All right, so here's my ranking off the dome of the best Power shows. I'm going to go from worst to first. The worst is to weak. Book 2 Ghost. That's the worst. That's the worst. That's the worst, dude. That's the worst. How he got a Method Man as his lawyer coming there bringing him stacks of cash. No question. Man, I could go on and on, man. That is the worst, man. That is the worst. I could never believe that show. I could never get into it. Never. Nothing they put on that show, I believed. It's entertaining. It had me laugh. I reviewed it. Did I actually believe any of it? No, nothing. He working at these all of this is, oh my goodness. Anyway, don't get me started on that. Book 2's the worst. All right. That show couldn't even have survived or been good if it wasn't coming after OG Power and taking that fan base. I don't think if they'd have just brought that out as a show, I don't think that nobody would have watched that. Watch a young preppy Ivy League gangster boy do all that. I don't even think that would have took off. That's like a BET Plus show or something. And so we got that. I'm going to say book 4 is right above that. Book 4 is better than To Weak, but it's not the greatest. It's got its flaws. I ain't saying it don't. But it's a lot better than that. I mean, when they came and shot a rocket launcher in the projects, I'm like, I bust up laughing. I couldn't believe I saw that. Do you know how bad the hood is if dudes had bazookas? And then so that, and then I would say, oh man, I think Raising Kanan could have came out by itself and had no attachment to Power and been a great successful show. I don't think book 2 or 4 would have been that good without Power as the ties. But I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say OG Power is number 1. It's real close with Raising Kanan though. Young Slim, yeah, man, you know, it's cool. Forrest got its moments. I get it. But Tawik, come on. Damian Kenny, you say, Jay, did you see the video of Natari Naughton singing to Michael Rainey on his birthday? Nah, I did. His birthday is, I think, a day or two away from mine, actually. Or the same day or something like that. I think he got the same day. But that's something else I've noticed. I know I'm about to, I'm biased. But if you look at some of your favorite actors' birthday, I bet you they were born in September. And probably close to the 17th. I don't know why, but I don't know, man. Something about September, man, we able to get into character or something. I don't know. Act, get the emotion going or something. I don't know, man, but he was born the 22nd. See? I was the 17th. And I will say, Michael Rainey is a good actor. He didn't write the script for Power. But I've seen Michael Rainey in some things. Michael Rainey got potential. He's so young still. Who knows what he may be as an actor in another 5-10 years, especially in his 30s. But Michael Rainey is a very good young actor. I give him credit. And he does a lot of heavy lifting with remembering so many lines and being the lead at such a young age. Although they did kind of make it an ensemble cast, so he didn't have so much work to do. But yeah, he's a good actor. Stephen Harris, you say Tommy faced a growing list of enemies, including the Fed, rival face, fraction, like the Marquez cartel and the treacherous allies. Well, that's the problem with Tommy to me, is that, and Ghost, all of these shows, is that they don't live like a kingpin, considering what they're doing. And the one that did, Tommy fucking Flanagan, he had the palace and the guards, and they made it easy to kind of take him out. But the truth is, Tommy and Ghost would be easy to take out. They by themselves. They stay, and especially Tommy. He by himself, with a woman. He got no guards, no backup, nobody watching his back. Diamond as well. Like these dudes, man, just considering what we saw in real life take place, you can get touched real easy in life. I grew up learning this as a reality in Chicago, seeing different things. You realize, oh, if somebody wants you, you got a real problem on your hands. Straight up, man, because what can you do? You got to eventually go out. You got to get something to eat. You got to make some money. You got to go. You got to do something. You can't just sit in the house. And even if you sit in the house, nobody's house is a fortress, so you can get touched. And that's the thing. And the reality is that the only way to help secure stuff is to have security. And they don't never have good security. Stephen Harris, you say the trailer highlights Stacey Mark's agenda to take down Tommy, indicating a major conflict between them. I ain't picked that up on that trailer. I missed that subplot. You say the trailer sets the stage for Tommy final push to dominate the Chicago drug game. as described by the battle of his effing life. Hey, it was the battle of my effing life, eh? All right. You know, that's the thing. I'd be surprised to even hear Tommy say that, considering how many battles he been in. But, we'll see. That's another problem for me with Force, being honest. Okay. I just can't get into him taking over the drug game in Chicago. It just doesn't seem possible or realistic. But I don't know. A lot has changed. I ain't been involved with nobody doing anything in the streets. It's been a very long time, at least 20 years. Wow, it's 2025. It's been more than 20 years. So I don't know. What the hell do I know, right? I still don't see it, but maybe I need a update on information on how it go down. Ambi, thank you for the birthday, belated birthday wishes. Yeah, I'm getting up there, so I appreciate all of that. Pepper, your son B-Day is the 17th also. Okay, happy birthday to your son. He got a great birthday. Let's see. Pepper, you say Tommy nephew was already in the streets before he got to Chicago. That is true. So technically, Tommy ain't bringing him to the streets, but he bringing him deeper down the path. You would think, with all that Tommy know, he would probably try to discourage it instead of encourage it. But this is something actually, I'm going to say, that's actually true about the country and everybody. And I think this is bad, and I think this is one of the problems I'm having with maybe relationships, whether friend or intimate, but it's not a lot of people that stand for nothing no more these days, and they don't have morals or good judgment calls, or anything that morals and judgment. They just don't stand for anything other than to make a buck, to sell out, get over. You ain't doing that, you stupid. You helping somebody, you dumb. You nice. Well, that was stupid. All of that's going on, and that's really bad. And if you're a person that you know got beliefs that you don't want to break, like if I was trying to have a rap career, I know it's easy for me to say because I ain't trying to have a rap career, but if I had to do the Diddy, I guess that's the end of my career. I will say I did have an opportunity to be in a movie as one of the main lead actors, and I was gonna be a gay army man, and I just didn't think that was the role for me. Maybe if I would have did that, who knows? Maybe I might be a star, but that's okay. It ain't for me. I'm cool with that. I don't have a lot of money and things, but I know who I am, and that's got some value. I know it sounds corny. I don't have money, but I know who I am. I mean, I ain't like corny like that, taking it to that level, but I wouldn't do the Diddy for no money or no deal. I'm good. I'm good. Young Slim, I think you say I think book 2 had better characters than book 4. Raising Canaan is the best to me. I agree with you actually on this one. I told y'all my list. Now I'm just being honest. Tawik is the worst. Book 4 is right above that. Not as just as bad, but it's not. I don't think these two shows would have survived without being linked to Power. So, but that's my opinion. But anyway, them the worst two. And it's hard for me between OG Power and Raising Canaan. I think either of these shows, but they both, well, Power did stand on its own. I think Raising Canaan could have came out today with no ties to Power, and because of the period piece, so to speak, I think it could have came out today and stood on its own too. And Raising Canaan to me is better so far than OG Power for a couple reasons. But I'm trying to be honest with myself as well. So it's better because it doesn't have as much fantastical things in it. You know, the first Power, 50 Cent gets stabbed and burned or whatever and come back and he don't got to go to the hospital or what. It's a lot of things that you can go back with OG Power, you know, and pull apart. I guess you could do that with any of these shows, be honest with you. Any show probably, you know, but Raising Canaan, see, I think what made Power great was it had everything. And them scenes with Angie and Ghost, I mean, good grief. That was like soft porn, man. In the beginning, Angie and Ghost and what they would go, oh man, if you didn't get wrapped up in that storyline right there. So, I mean, but as it went along and there was no more love scenes, but the show did kind of take a turn when he went to jail and all of that. So I would say it's a close tie between Raising Canaan and Power. I give the nod to OG Power because in a way, when it's first, it's kind of in your mind first. It may not be better, but because it established and created, it kind of is, but isn't. It's like, you know, I mean, Raising Canaan probably is the best of them all, truthfully, from start to finish. Although Raising Canaan got some issues too. Anyway, Stephen Harris, you say Jared was a figure in Tommy Pass and his continued involvement in Chicago drug gangs suggested a complex and dangerous landscape for Tommy to navigate. You done broke it down over here, Steve. Yeah, that right there sounds like something that the writers would say. And you know, the truth is, like I was admitting to earlier, the game has changed. I'm sure people I know in the game, actually I do know, they dead or not in the game anymore or older. They all older if they still alive. So I guess a lot of stuff going on these days. Who knows? Who knows? You know, maybe you can be white like Tommy and take over the hood and do things. I know a lot of the people and a lot of my neighborhood has changed. So who knows? But I just see it hard. I mean, the way of drug dealing has changed. It's not people on the corner no more like they used to be. They put cameras on the corner, so they nobody rolling up to people on the corner and people running to your car. That's how it was in the 90s and early 2000s in Chicago. I'm pretty sure it's like most places now, you got somebody's phone number or something. And that's wild to me. I never thought of getting these people's phone numbers, exchanging phone numbers. So that's so crazy. And then in Chicago, you could just go to the store and buy some weed. So that probably killed the weed market of selling weed on the corner. Because why go buy weed on the corner from somebody when you could just go to the weed store and buy some weed for $35 an eighth? They be having deals and all kind of stuff. So the taxes coming down a little. Big Jimmy, what's good, brother? How you feeling? Big Bird, you say LOL. He said, be white like Tommy and take over. Hey man, let me tell y'all something. The drug game ain't politically correct or no DEI. That's reverse DEI. If you go have a white dude come in and run the dope game in the hood and take over, and then having brothers work for him, I mean, damn man, corporate America want everything. Dang. Like, nah, that ain't what would happen. But like, we wouldn't even have listened. Straight up, my generation, we wouldn't even have listened to him. So we couldn't even have probably got out his pitch. And because for one, we would have been ran him off, or we would have known he was the cops. He would have had a very difficult time hanging and sitting with everybody and trying to sell drugs, and everybody just relaxed, not thinking he the cops. Tommy just popped up in Chicago. This ain't where he grew up, like New York. New York is more of a melting pot, all kind of people doing whatever. Chicago is still somewhat very segregated. People live and mind their own business in their areas. And so that would have been so strange and foreign to me, well, especially then. Maybe it's a little more mixed into Chicago today. I don't think so, maybe. But wow, him come on the block. Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, you can work for me. They'd be like, dude, you better get the hell out of here. What up, Stephen Harris? What's good, my brother?
I mean, what's good? I mean, yeah, though, because I seen the trailer, though, because you already know Stacey Mark is going to be setting up a case to either take down Tommy this season. And then either much he told D-Mac to start praising up because you gonna end up like Kanan. And you know D-Mac though, you know he gonna end up getting caught in the crossfire this season.
Yeah, now that one, man, that actually could be sad if he don't make it. Just
Yeah, because
because of his age.
because you either
Go
much
ahead.
have Kate either much getting out of hospital because you know she drug overdose last year. JP had to take her to the hospital. And so you know that Kate Egan looking sad, and JP he could be up out of here this season.
That would be
I don't
sad
see him
too.
making it
I don't either. I would like for him to get popped actually, but
because the writers did a Pope his job with his character.
they did. And because he's so naive, I think that he should catch some strays or catch some of Tommy's fallout. Um, for him to make it without any problems, I think that would be a fake. That would be a mistake,
Yeah,
you
because
know.
I see Tommy and Miguel either much working together for the first time. Because they gonna end up having issues with the Mexican cartels.
That Mexican OT. Man, my
Yep.
dang on camera and stuff is lagging over here. Well, you right on time, man, because I'm about to go to my next subject, which is Diddy.
Oh, Pup. I mean, let me shut up calling him Pup Daddy. I mean P Diddy, Sean Puppy Combs.
Why you say shut up calling him Puff Daddy? That's what they gonna call him in the pen. They're gonna get some of that Puff Daddy.
Yeah, because I seen the news today because they gave him a 4-year sentence and 2 months in a federal prison.
Yeah, man. He was trying to get a lower sentence. Oh man, it ain't bringing it up for some reason. But they gave him the 4 years. He already been in jail for 11 months. So we'll see what happened. They say they got him over the Mann Act violations. Now, this is what's really, really problematic with the Mann Act. A lot of people don't understand probably, and that's why when white people talk to black people and they try to, Charlie Kirk say black people, civil rights this, or black people, they ain't this or that. Black people have a unique history in America, and you need to know this before you judge African Americans. So, how many people have heard of Jack Johnson? He was the first black
He was a
heavyweight.
boxer.
He was a boxer, first black heavyweight champ in the 1919s or something, before the Depression. And he was beating white men. At first, white men wouldn't fight black boxers because they said it was beneath them. I won't fight him. He's beneath me. Come here. Put your dukes up. And that's what they would do or whatever. They'd say, you beneath me. But the truth is, they were scared they was going to get their ass kicked. And eventually, they couldn't avoid it. Jack Johnson started knocking their ass out, became the first black heavyweight champion, which, as a man, that's everybody respects the heavyweight champion of the world nowadays. But if somebody say they're a champion boxer, as a man, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, because he'll kick your ass, right? That's a real thing. That ain't baseball where you hitting the ball. No, I will put the dukes in your face. I will knock you out. I will beat you, the baddest man on the planet. That's what heavyweight fighter means. And he was screwing white women. This is when they would hang you for just being black. He would get death threats, and he did it openly. He did not hide. They ran him. I think he even had to live in Cuba for a while. And they created the Mann Act to arrest him and put him in jail because he was having sex. One of the white women, because it was two of them, one of them was a known prostitute, I believe, but it wasn't like he had to pay her. She liked being with him. But they created the Mann Act to put Jack Johnson in jail and strip him of his heavyweight title. So to be using that same thing on Diddy is horrible. If he did crimes, he did crimes. But the history of this law being used, when this is not a law that you regularly see used or heard, it's really a law created against black men, used against black men, and that's all it's ever used against, really. It's really, oh my goodness, man. It makes me, not that I'm that smart, because I don't think I am, and I know how much I forget all the time, so I don't think I'm that smart.
Right.
But a couple things that I do know, it makes me sad sometimes, and it make me think of when dude was in the Matrix, and he said ignorance is bliss. Sometimes not knowing stuff is good, but not knowing some things can get you in trouble too. Oh my goodness, I just typed in Jack Johnson on Google and they brought up this white guitar player. What?
Oh Lord.
They brought up a white guitar dude. Oh my goodness. I ain't never seen or heard of this dude before. I ain't never, what? Yeah, this dude is this dude. He's 50 years old. I've never heard of this dude, and he's 50 years old, and they bring him up over Jack Johnson.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. There's Jack Johnson. You should see some of the footage of how he moved, because they move weird. Oh,
Dude, he don't move like Muhammad Ali.
No. I'm saying in that time period, boxers move weird. Like they move, it didn't seem real. Jack Johnson did move like a Muhammad Ali, like a real person. He moved like how he moved it. And they like, oh shit, where is he? Stand still there. Take a punch like a man. Hey, see? He's sticking and moving and beating their head. They like, wait a minute. What is he doing? He's all over the ring. But yeah, man, they messed him up. The Mann Act. I'm gonna show y'all a quick little short video. Let's see. Short video of him moving. But yeah, man, the Man Act, that's wild. Let's show how he moves.
History facts you won't learn about in schools. Jack Johnson made history in 1908 as the first black.
Nah, that's her made on video. Anyway, I'm gonna put in
This man look familiar than BB King. No, I mean Bobby Bland.
That's how they all look back then. Nah. Let's see. It say boxer Jack Johnson was convicted in 1913 under the Mann Act for immoral purposes of transporting a white woman. You understand that? That is what they just did to Diddy. This is horrible. I'm not saying Diddy's an innocent man that did good, but like, how does this? Oh my goodness. It says the immoral purposes of transporting a white woman, Belle Schreiber, across state lines. You trying to have immoral purposes with a white woman? Lock him up! Lock him up! He wanted to stick that big black pecker in her. Oh, hell no. Hell no. They have big black babies boxing and beating up all the white race. What would we do? What would we do? It's a... They had crossed state lines through the prosecution. Oh, it say, though the prosecution was widely seen as racially motivated by his marriage to a white woman in defiance of social norms. He fled the country to avoid prison, but eventually surrendered and served time. In 2018, over a century after his conviction, he received a presidential pardon for the baseless conviction, which served as a lesson to African Americans to not challenge the status quo. But they still got the law on the books, so they can still bring it up and slap it on whoever they feel free to. You can give him a pardon, but if you still got this law on the books, it said it was made, the law's purpose was enacted in 1910 to combat human trafficking and prostitution by making it a felony to transport women across state lines for immoral purposes. Even if that is true and it is a law that needs to be done, tear this up and write a new law. Don't leave this same law in place that has these racial motivations behind it. It says, while ostensibly about prostitution, the law's broad language was used to target and prosecute Jack Johnson for his relationships, including marriages with white women. He was married. Public outrage over his interracial relationships was a key factor in the government's pursuit of the case. So, anyway, it said he lived in Europe and other parts of the world. He should have never came back because he died shortly after. I think he either died right after he got out of prison or right. It was real close. So, anyway, he should have just stayed in Europe. But yeah, man, that's crazy. The Mann Act, Diddy. I'm not saying he's innocent or guilty. His case is really kind of wild. What you think about Diddy in 4-year sentence? You think it was enough? Too much? What you think?
I mean, he could have been facing up to 10 years, man. They could have gave him 10 years.
They was trying to. So you think
But he can't even want to get out with the $500,000 bond because the judge would be taking heat if they let Diddy release Diddy from jail.
Yeah, they would. I mean, it's such a high-profile case. A lot of times, a high-profile case, that's a good thing for them because that means that they can possibly twist or manipulate the law in their favor. But if you got a high-profile case like this, the judge will feel I can't do but so much because then the backlash or whatever. So it may not work in your favor. So with Diddy, I mean, it's kind of a wild case, a wild situation. They said one of the witnesses against him was now trying to like be there for him or something. Um, there's no telling. I mean, when you got money and influence, you can get people to change their minds, or at least say they did. But at the same time, who knows, man? Who knows? Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think. Pepper said Diddy is safe in NYC.
You got guys, and you got guys here to I don't care nothing about it.
I mean, that is, I don't know, man. I think he kind of got
He told me I would never forget young son told me I would never forget Puppy for not keeping Biggie safe in California.
yeah, they should have never even went there, especially so soon. 1 year later, that was just crazy.
And
So,
that happened in 95.
mhm. Yeah, that 97.
Oh yeah.
97, yeah. But yeah, man, we'll see how it all play out. Diddy, I think, man, considering what they were trying to put on him and everything, and maybe what he may have done, he might be getting out with that 4 years being lucky. Because he could have probably, like you said, 10 years or more. And then here's the real thing. Is he going to get his evidence back? Is he going to get his tapes back, or they going to keep it? That's the thing. They going to keep all them tapes. Then what? They going to use it for blackmail? Like, who's going to use it? I don't know. Young Slim, you said everyone would have thought Tommy was a cop. Facts. Facts, man. Dude, first of all, he's too old. Tommy is too old to be popping up brand new saying anything. You too old, man. We ain't trusting you. If he was 20, maybe he could have popped up in the hood and tried to get in where he fit in. Maybe even up to 25. You can't be popping up in your 40s talking about, hey, dude, you a detective. Get your ass out of here. What's up, officer? I ain't no officer. Let's sell cocaine. Like, dude, your ass, I'm done. Pepper, you say Tommy traveled by himself and took over. Really? And telling Diamond to check his brother. No way. Facts. Facts. That wouldn't have happened. Tommy wouldn't have took over nothing. First of all, even if he had a crew, it would have been hard to take over. That's when you see wars and shootouts. So what? Somebody just gonna move into somebody's drug territory and just take over their business and money and just put them out of business. They're gonna say, okay, well, I mean, hey, I had a good run while it lasted. You go ahead, take over. That ain't how it worked. So, well, Tommy did how the very first episode of book 4 was horrible to me on how he took Vic drugs and then made Vic go take him to the drug spot, the deal, and then get a part of it and say that. Oh my goodness. And that's how he got into it with Vic and them, and then they gonna give him a job and it. Oh no. Oh no. That just did not go with how the game go, in my opinion. But anyway, Big Bird, you say love the pink toes. Who are you talking about, the pink toes? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You don't know what he's talking about either, Steve?
I don't have no slightest idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what he talking about. Pink toes. Young Slim, in that role you tried out for to play a gay character, was it on the Shy? Nah, it was for a movie. I don't know if that movie came out. If you all see a movie about a guy
Oh, yeah, they
that's
talking about the Shy is season 8. They coming back with next year. The last season finally is coming to win. I'm glad too.
yeah, the shot been on for a minute, ain't it?
Yeah, man, it's getting bored and boring.
It is kind of. They didn't took it to its limits, but it's not even the same show it used to be.
Mm-mm.
But no, man, that role was for a movie. And if you all see a movie with a guy in a wheelchair that was in the military and he dealing with being gay, but he got a gay boyfriend to live with him, but he don't know how to be out and about and open. The guy in the wheelchair don't. That's the movie. I don't remember the name of it or what they were gonna call it, but that was it. It wasn't for a TV show. So anyway, Bobby Bailey, you say, look how they did Reuben Carter, known as the Hurricane. Man,
Oh, man.
don't even get me on that. I got the poster of the Hurricane right here on my wall, right here. That's one of my favorite movies of all time because I feel like the Hurricane in the sense that still in the fight. Nah, I relate to that movie. That's probably one of the movies that touched me the most in the sense that I feel like I've been convicted of a crime I didn't commit. You know, seeing what he had to go through and fight through with things and for something he didn't do, and like all the things I had to go through is not the same being injured. I was injured, so I'm just like a heavyweight champ. I had to fight too. Nah, but I just feel like I got injured way more than I should have, considering his people drunk drive and do all kind of stuff and crash or flip over and they get up and run away. And I'm like in this situation, just coming home from work. And so a lot of times I'd be like, man, I got hit more like the hurricane, but it's a metaphor, of course. But one thing I will say is that like, my parents, they tried their best. They was boomers or whatever. They both worked. I grew up with my mom and dad working. So, we had our little latchkey type stuff, live, do whatever and things. But they tried. I'm not going to say everything was great, but everything wasn't the worst. But they were a little older when I was growing up. So I will always want to be more active and a lot of things that maybe I didn't agree with or like. I would say, well, when I get older, I have a kid, I'm going to do this or I'll be this or I'll do that. And so I was trying to do in my best and things. You realize it ain't that easy. And, but I would think I was trying my best to be a good parent, somebody, my son could be proud of and things. And then after being injured and things, I say those when you have the home health aides come in and like shit on you all the time or argue with you and stuff. And subconsciously he's picking up on that. So it's like it ruined everything because, he kind of act like a home health aide to me now. And so, that's the thing. You can try to make plans and things, and you never know how life may get in the way or haters or whatever. It's no guarantees or it's no way we all got it figured out. We just got to try to make the most of what we can. So that's the thing we try. I think most people try not to do things that they ashamed of or things they got to be looking over their shoulder for all their life or whatever. You try not to be on Epstein list or something, so you ain't got to be worried or blackmailed your whole life to do certain things. I know I definitely don't do those type of things. Not because I'm worried about the list. I don't do the thing, but you never know, man. Life is wild, man. You can try to make all the plans and do what you want, and life can get in the way.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you seen the Congress came up short on the 60th vote, try to keep the government reopened.
And that right there is just horrible because I forgot to even get to that. I'm glad you brought that up. That those people that do these things and don't vote for the right things or whatever, they don't have the same life as everyone else. And so they look at everyone's life as less than, and they want to fire a lot of government workers. Now that this shutdown, they can say, well, we just not bringing them back.
Yep,
Yeah.
and he's on vacation.
Huh?
Excuse me, I'm saying the Republicans is on vacation. They don't need much care. They want to get rid of access to health care. They want to cut food assistance. They want to cut Medicaid. They much want to lay off a bunch of people, and then they much want to shut down the government. And then Mike Johnson don't need much want to bring the votes up to the flow. And he is not instrument, so he don't give a damn.
Right. And that's the whole plan, because then they can cut and fire and do whatever they want and then say, well, it ain't our fault, it's their fault. Well, it's what? Because they wanted health care for everybody and things, and you all want to just gut and take away everything? Like,
yeah, and they already done send polices into Chicago, because I see them, because they done broke up in these people apartment, breaking up, they getting rid of these Venezuelan people, and they have been getting along with the black people in Chicago. And these people don't have no literally respect for nobody in that city of Chicago. And I seen them done choke the black dude in Chicago.
yeah, man. And Chicago is probably, I didn't realize this growing up in Chicago. I thought this is just
On the south side of Chicago.
Right, but I thought this is how everybody thought, in the sense, because in Chicago growing up, my parents got a newspaper every day. Like, my parents were aware of politics and the news. My friends' parents, people talked about politics, news, different things. It wasn't like I'm here. Black community, they don't know about politics overall. They don't read the news.
They don't understand it.
No, they don't. And it's pretty much, it's hard to find somebody in Chicago that didn't have an idea on something in politics.
And and they shooting rubber bullets at these protesters and throwing
That's
tear
the thing.
gas.
I'm looking at it now. It's like Chicago is a huge hub of young, people aware. I don't want to say woke, but a lot of young, aware people of what's going on in the world, as well as all age groups, versus a lot of other cities. People are not as aware overall. And so for them to take down Chicago, it's like trying to stomp out awareness in a way.
Yeah, because the administration is just racist. They done did it in Memphis. They done did it in Washington, D.C., and they want to make this a thug state.
Uh-huh. Young Slim, you say all we can do is one day at a time. Stay strong. I feel you. Yeah, he was saying that when I was talking about my hurricane moment. But yeah, I don't want to get too sad, so I ain't gonna talk too much more about all of that. But,
This what happened when these people, when you sit out and you don't vote in these numbers, and you let these maggot Republicans get in office. This is what happens when you let these billionaires, because these billionaires want to cut health care and Social Security. They want to cut your Medicaid. They want to get rid of the house system, food assistance. They already got rid of access. They done got They got rid of the CD health care. they trying to get rid of these vaccine shots. That's what these Republicans is trying to do. So they don't have no privilege and no value, no moral, no principle, no backbone.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's just so much happening at once, man.
And the Republicans only care about billionaires and donors, white billionaires.
Yeah, they definitely for the corporations and the rich. That is true. I mean, America basically starting to get sold out like the movie Idiocracy, where everything sponsored by Carl Jr. It's like everything is a corporate sponsor or something. It's just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
and yeah, because around coming the next year, I mean, you just can't sit out because because the Democrats. I mean, they didn't either much want to put a black woman in charge. I remember you saying that they don't like a woman telling them what to do.
They really hate that. They really, really, really hate that.
I said, who else you gonna who you was gonna, because Nancy Pelosi wanted a primary because Kamala Harris wasn't on her list. Because they wanted Josh Shapiro, Governor Newsom, Elizabeth Warren, and Governor Newsom wasn't ready to run president. He still is governor of California.
I think he should just go ahead and start running now and doing rallies, since they keep doing rallies all the time.
He need to be campaigning now. So you don't be sitting there waiting on the next 2 years around come 28 president election when he get here.
I know, right? Yeah, it's so much happening and going on. It's just, man, we could talk and talk.
A messed up time we living in.
It is, man. And what's crazy, good grief, when I'm about to say this make me feel so old, but I first heard about basically the secrets of the world, or what we thought is not what's actually happening. And when I graduated high school, which was in 96, good grief. But 30 years ago, oh my God. But anyway, I remember some of the friends, that's the thing. Young people used to read. Anyway, they had the book and they told me it had the pyramid with the eye of the dollar bill. They like, yeah, man, you heard Illuminati. They gonna put microchips in the dogs and pets, and they gonna track this and the alien, and I'm like, man, what the hell is y'all talking about, man? This is crazy. None of this is real. This ain't. They like, man, what is that on there? And I'm like, none of these questions ever crossed my mind until then. Well, no, I never even had these thoughts. I never questioned anything. Now, again, in the 90s, it wasn't like we had phones and information at your fingertips. I'd have to go to the library or something. If it wasn't on the news or radio, I'd have to like become a researcher to find out stuff. So it was harder for me to learn more information than it is today. We can Google anything and find it out in minutes. And Google didn't exist then. So it was hard to get more information. But since then, so many things in that book has come true that it is like, it's undeniable. You know, like even the Freemasons and things. I never thought anything of that before, and the different degrees and levels and what they do. And I never even thought about it. I seen it, whatever. I didn't think about it. And then as you learn and dig down those rabbit holes and things, you'd be like, what are people doing in this world, man? People are something else, man. People are something else, man. Young Slim, class of 99. You just made it right before the millennium, the Willennium. Will Smith, Willennium.
Getting jiggy with it.
Getting jiggy with it. Welcome to Miami. Well, man, I'm about to get up out of here and call it a night. But it was good talking with you as always.
Good to you.
Huh? My bad. I'm sorry.
I said we got Tulsa King coming up season episode 3 that Sunday. Football gonna be on.
I need to watch Tulsa King. You like it? It's really good, huh?
It's good with Sylvester Stallone playing in it.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Why is he walking around with a bat on the cover of the poster for the Tulsa King? He like walking with a bat on his shoulder or something.
Yep. That remind me when 50 Cent had a back on his album cover.
So does he hit people with the bat in Tulsa King or no?
No, he does carry it in the movie.
Oh, brother. What's up, Miss Crafty? How you doing? Glad to see you. Class of 96, man. What's crazy is at that time, I felt so young. Everybody would be like, you just graduated 96. And now with time, be like, whoa. Time is crazy. Pepper, you said one time most blacks was Republican because of Lincoln. When Roosevelt became president in 38, most blacks became Democrats. Actually, that's half true. So most blacks were Republican because of Lincoln, because he freed the slaves. So most blacks were supporting because they had more progressive policies for African Americans. And then it switched, and the party it switched slowly as Reformation and things didn't work. And what happened was the South was more Democratic, Dixiecrats. And it was still more blacks Republican until the Civil Rights Bill. And Kennedy ushered with that. He was a Democrat. Johnson, LBJ, signed the Civil Rights Bill into law as he was a Democrat. And then blacks switched to the Democratic Party because they now have more progressive policies for African Americans. And all of the racist Dixiecrats switched to Republicans. And that happened during the Civil Rights Bill. But just to double check, because I do pretty much remember this, and I would put money on this, but I don't like to say things publicly on the show like that, and then I may be wrong. So let's see what they say. Let's say, when did blacks switch from Republican to Democrat? Pretty sure it's because of the civil rights. Let's see. That's what sealed the deal. Say the political affiliation of black voters shifted from Republican to Democrat over several decades, beginning in the 30s with the New Deal and solidifying in the 60s with the civil rights. Yeah, the New Deal, that's why I say it was slowly going, because the New Deal gave you like a 40-hour work week and, paid time, all this stuff. So like a lot of blacks moved from the South to the North, worked in factories. So those are policies you would vote for because it benefits you, but they weren't direct policies for African Americans. But that's why it was slow. But then the civil rights era, it made it fast. Let's say the start of the shift, the New Deal was the start. In the decades after the Civil War, most black voters supported the Republican Party, largely due to its association with Lincoln and abolition of slavery. Exactly. Which
Right.
that's
That's what
Who
That's
wouldn't?
when Lyndon B. Johnson signed that 1965 Voting Rights Civil Act.
Right. But I mean, if I was a slave and the president that freed the slaves, I would vote for him too. Like, he doing better than the president that wasn't gonna free the slaves. It say the first major turn toward the Democratic Party began in the 30s due to the following factors. The Great Migration. That's why I say more blacks had factory jobs. More black Americans left the South for industrial jobs in northern cities. These new urban voters became key to democratic political machines in cities like New York and Chicago. That's why Chicago's so political, because it's been a political machine
Yeah,
for
because
a
it's a
long
politics state. It was crimes
time.
happening in Chicago. That's
Yeah,
why
but
they had to get Matt Lightfoot out of office.
oh, well, there's probably a lot of reasons for that. But Chicago is a very political city. It is, and New York is too.
Because NYC.
Yeah, people in New York, they know about voting for the mayor, voting for whatever, voting for they are more aware of their city and the
And they
politics.
not happy with and you look at my dad and look at Eric Adams. He already done resigned from his campaign because they want him up out of there.
He should resign, from what I've heard.
Because he got a criminal case.
Yeah, but he wasn't doing none of the stuff he was saying he was gonna
No,
do.
and he lied to the people in New York City.
That's why he's a good politician. Unfortunately.
Because now guess what, he gonna be in Trump administration doing Homeland Security. And you know this man do not know a damn thing about Homeland Security.
Uh-huh.
Because knowing Trump administration probably put pressure on him to drop out of the race.
Let me
And
read
now you
this
got
last
Andrew
part.
Cuomo.
Yeah, they shouldn't even have put him up there. That just shows how out of touch they are with the voters of today. He just got thrown out as the governor. Why would you bring him back as mayor?
Because they don't have nobody else run. Because Andrew Cuomo is not a Democrat. Because all he cares about is
Politician.
he's independent. All he cares about billionaires.
Right. He's a politician, pure politician. His father was the politician.
Because he don't care about the food, what these young people need. He don't care nothing about what bringing down the cost of food, a home, a living.
Well, that don't even matter. The point is, they will never vote for him in New York. He, during COVID, had all the elderly people locked in the stuff and they died. They'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah, because he was going with his staff, his campaign staff.
Yeah, they'll never forgive him for that in New York. It don't even matter about the policies. It don't even that.
Policies don't mean nothing.
Not with him, dude. You locked our grandparents and stuff in nursing homes and they all died. New York had the most people dying, and he was under his watch. They had people, dead bodies in semi-trailers on the side of the road. Dude, he'll never get voted again in any office in New York.
Because New York gonna elect Zion McDonough.
For the Democratic machine to put him out there shows how out of touch they are.
Yeah, because Democrats, and Republicans, they not even much happy with Zion McDonough leading in the polls. Because if he get elected, Trump gonna stop bringing funding money over there to New York City.
Well, they're doing that because they don't want New York, the largest city in America, to show that, hey, billionaires need to get taxed more. Food and housing should be stabilized, and there should be a cap on this. You can't have unchecked capitalism. You need to put a cap on this so people can pay their rent. And once they do this, and then every other city and everybody else sees it work, the game's up. The lies are over. The game is up. The biggest city in America is showing you that these people need to be taxed. And when they're taxed, they pay their fair share. They try to scare us saying, well, if they tax the billionaires, they'll leave. No, they're not. No, they're not. They like living in America. They like living in New York. They're not. Who they going to sell their buildings to?
Nobody.
Right. If they all leave, who's going to buy it? Who's going to do? Whatever. Somebody will buy it. If you sell it, then leave. Take your ass out of here. Sell that. We'll tax with a sale, and you can go.
Yeah, and take your ass out of New York City and move your ass to California.
But this is the thing. They want it as a threat. If you tax me, I'll take my toy and leave. I'll take my company. I'll take this and leave. And now you don't have a job. They did that with the automotive industry. They can't necessarily do that with buildings and property. You can't just take the building and leave and go to Greenland. And so they want to threaten and the working person and say, hey, if you do this and that to me, I'm going to do this and that to you. I'll take the whole job away. And so that's how they convince working people to go against their own self-interest. Young Slim had a comment, left, right, saying it's neither for everyday working people. That is for today. But before, and even in the 60s, the politicians weren't all bought out and sold out. Now, I'm not saying every policy was for everybody, but they weren't bought out by corporations. That didn't happen until Reagan. And when Reagan got in, corporations bought every politician and other special interest groups in other countries, whatever. Every politician got bought out and no more policy for the people. They don't get paid by us. They don't work for us. That's why you go to get a job in politics and that pay $100,000 a year, but they all become millionaires. How? How do you become a millionaire with a job to pay $100,000 a year? It would take 10 years to get 1 million. And that's if you saved every penny and wasn't taxed. How are they worth multiple millions? You know, and that's a whole nother thing we can get into. But yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, though, because Isaiah Madonna, if he get elected on November the 4th, y'all can stop, because funding is gonna be stopped coming over to New York City, and you know people don't want to come there and live because of the rent, people, because of the food. What Zion Madonna say, he gonna bring down the cost of living and the food and the water in New York City.
That's why he winning. Because that's
because
what the people want, and that's what you're supposed to say. They asked him something about Israel. He like, I ain't gonna do nothing with Israel. I'm the mayor of New York. Why I care about that? That's what you're supposed to say. Why is the mayor of of any American city concerned with another country unless that country's bringing business or a factory over here? What? That's none of our business.
Troll ain't, because they ain't got nothing to do with the United States.
No, it don't. And they nobody vote them to take care of any other country or place other than where they supposed to be. So
and their job, his job is not in there for Israel. His job is for the city of New York people, helping them out of New York City.
Yeah. Miss Crafty, you say update on your daughter. She go to college in Chicago. I love when I was going to college in Chicago. She got a job as a social activist dancer. Boy, they got new job creations, don't they? Social activist dancer. I don't have a clue what she will be doing, but we shall see. I guess if there's some type of social activist event, I guess she'll be one of the dancers to help, because them things can be boring and dry. I guess they got dancers and rappers and stuff booked for these things nowadays to make it a hang, make it a place to hang. That's part of the problem, though, I think, with politics today, that is too fun and cool. It ain't supposed to be.
And politics is a double dutch game.
Double dutch game. I think all this dunking on people, slamming, gotcha, and I got you, I showed you, yeah, on the libs, oh, the right, the what. All of this is wrong. Politics is not cool. It's not supposed to be fun and I got you and this. No, this is business for the country. This ain't cool, and this is a big problem. I think this is just gross. Like, it's like a reality show, you know, and like politicians on the Twitter and tweeting and videos all the
and
time.
TikTok.
Yeah, they dominating too much attention. You know, growing up, like I said, in Chicago, we were political aware, but people didn't necessarily talk politics until it's time to vote. Like, you read the paper, you know this happened, you aware of this. But people wasn't sitting there going back and forth about this stuff like that until it's time to vote. Maybe then you do, but they didn't dominate the airwaves in your life and your time like they do now. It's like politicians are more famous than a lot of celebrities nowadays and get way more attention than so-called celebrities or actors or whatever nowadays. It's really crazy. and they whack. Politicians are whack. They ain't funny. They ain't cool. They ain't got no swag. They ain't
And
trying
they ain't loyal to you. They ain't your friend because you
to
take
know.
pictures with them in photos.
Yes. So like I think all of this is trash that young people look up to politicians or think they cool or none. They corny and they do weird stuff. And
Yep, that's why you see around come 26 midterms, though, and Trump trying to keep out because he afraid of losing the House.
Castle Dragon 78, that's my year. You say politicians been bought out since the Civil War era. Well, that's not what I'm saying. What
Mm-mm.
you're saying is been bought out, but I was a little more specific. So one could say politicians been bought out since the Civil War era, and you could say special interest always been somebody with special interests, or if they can get that access, before you could just go to the
Yeah,
White
because you see what they did in Texas when they passed that grand jury map, and then Trump told Greg Abbott to give me 5 seats. They done moved Jasmine Cracker's seat out of her district into a new seat. They done move our Green seat into Sylvester Turner seat.
Yeah, but I'm
And
saying back in the Civil War era,
mm,
you used to just be able to walk up to the White House or just go there and then have
right.
a meeting with the president. It wasn't so formal and so much security and all this stuff it is today. And so people could go, but this is the thing. They were the American people doing it. Whereas now it's corporations, and yeah, maybe they American people in the corporation, but they are not representing the American people. You could say, well, they would go do this, and maybe they were representing slavery or something possible. But at least they were American, represent their American slavery, as bad as it is. But at least there was other slavers and people they was trying to hopefully represent that horrible stuff. But I look at a corporation as even worse than a slaver in the sense that they're getting everybody. They ain't just getting slaves or black. They'll screw everybody. They'll take from everybody. They suck everybody dry. It's like they're like a big blob of evil. They do, and everything they put out gets worse quality. Your burgers are cheaper. The food is nastier. They get scientists to put chemicals in it to make your brain want more of it, even though it probably ain't tasting good. Like MSG, that's all MSG do is make your brain think it tastes good.
Mm.
That's why they call it flavor enhancer, because your brain thinks that it's been enhanced and you want to eat it and it ain't worth a damn. But you know,
You know, I
it's just
mean, yeah,
horrible. And then also
crazy. That's crazy.
corporations operate without borders. They do it to the whole world. Multinational corporate, they ain't just doing it to us, they do it to the whole world. So that's why I think it's even worse, because and then they only representing the board members. They don't even represent the rest of their workers. They'll fire them and treat them like crap. They only doing it for what? 30 people? That's insane. Or less. I think that's even worse. So anyway, I don't want to keep going and going and going and going and going, but it is good to get to talk this stuff out here.
Yeah, though. But, I mean, wrong come next
Uh,
year. Oh,
yeah,
I see Pepper talking about the wrong come next year. These Republicans, they either must scared to either must lose the House. But if the Democrats take back the Senate and the House next year, King Jeffrey is going to end up having a gavel in 2027.
King Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I mean, him and Chuck Schumer, they refused to voice Zion McDonough. And you know them two ain't even much up for the job. Chuck Schumer need to resign, and Hakeem Jeffrey, I don't think he going nowhere. But they need they need young bloods in their party. That's what the Democrats need, somebody like a Jasmine Crockett and Congressman Al Green.
The problem with Jasmine Crockett is she's too easy to throw under the bus for the far right.
And they want to oh, she ghetto.
Exactly. For one, she a black woman. So that already, if you've heard what they say, any black woman with a job is a DEI hire. That's what they think automatically. If you, yeah, like Charlie Kirk said, Michelle Obama, Jasmine Crockett, all of them were DEI hires. And then when they tried to defend DEI because they were trying to get rid of it, and they saying because of DEI, we wouldn't be here. He said, see, it wasn't just me. They said it. Not realizing it's not because of DEI we wouldn't be here because we not qualified. No, because no matter how qualified we are, because we were born black women, we would never get our opportunity. You would never allow us to show you how qualified or that we were able to do the job simply because we black women. And that's why DEI was important for us to be here, because you wouldn't give us a chance no matter how educated or qualified we were. You would find some way to say it's not worth it. And then a person like Charlie Kirk, who dropped out of school, then to say other people ain't qualified. But, you know, it's easier to say things and it's harder to do things in life, you know. And I'm not saying you need a college degree to be qualified and stuff either. I don't like that
And
narrative.
and some people can't afford student loan debt.
Well, not
I mean,
only that, like you can just start doing stuff like journalists or reporters. It didn't have to have a degree to be a reporter. You get out there and you start asking questions, and you hit the streets. You work your sources. You develop like in the 20s, 30s, 40s. They didn't have degrees to be newspapermen and stuff, you know. And now that's a way to control the narrative. Now that's a way to say, well, if it ain't on Fox News or CNN, why you believe in a YouTuber? Or, you know, whatever. Or if you got to go through all of these channels to get a degree, to get a job, well, now you are in debt. So you need this job and you won't rock the boat, because if you get fired, how you going to pay these loans back and pay this and do that? So then that's another way to control you subconsciously.
yeah, and you ain't got no job to afford those PPD loans.
Right. And so that's the thing. When you have debt, you will subconsciously do things to keep your job. And so that's another way to control anybody, because they made it where you need a college degree damn near for every job worth a damn. So that's a way to make sure that you take less wages, don't talk back to the boss, make sure you show up for longer hours and do all this stuff because you're in debt and you don't have a choice. And so that's the problem with making every job need a college degree, is that every job worth a damn is people that are in debt. So they basically debt slaves. They got to work for you. They can't rock the boat, speak back, show up late, do whatever. They can't be a person. They got to be a drone or else they fired. And then what they going to do? So by being in that situation, and also it stops innovation, because if I don't learn how you taught me to do this, maybe I might find a new way to do something. But if I have to go to school to learn how to do everything, then guess what? Everybody will do every job the same way. Like if you teach to be whatever, construction a certain way, or you teach, you know, school, whatever. I can't come up with all the things. Anyway, in each field, there will be no innovation, is what I'm saying, whatever it may be, because everybody's doing everything the same, learning the same. You don't have somebody over here trying it this way or doing this or a piece of this and a piece. Everybody's the same. In a way, it creates uniformity, which is good if you're a corporation and you got offices across here and you need employees and you want them all to have a certain skill set, but not too much, and you don't want them to go out of those lines. You just want them to be smart enough to do your job, but dumb enough to not think about everything else that's going on including how they getting screwed. And so that's a big problem. I don't know how to fix it. I got an idea, but that'll take a whole nother another time. I think the way to fix it is tied into those files that they don't want to release. And the reason,
No, and they refuse to bring the Epstein files up.
well, I didn't
But
say
that ain't going away. I mean the
name
Republicans.
on purpose. I said you can FD
Man,
but yeah, man, here's the thing why I say they don't release it, because it's got people on both sides. So that's why it ain't well him or them. All of y'all got caught up in this, and they don't want to give up on each other and lose the power. So they decide, well, we won't say nothing and we'll all stay in power. And that's just gross.
and you know it's gonna come back and hunt them. And ain't any Epstein files ain't going away no time soon.
Right. No, it should, but it won't, because if it does, they are going down. So it's not in any of their best interest. They not only would lose their jobs and power, but people would want them to go to jail. And that's what they don't want to do. They may give up some of them power and jobs and they can keep their money and live their life. Oh, well, but they don't want to go to jail. And that's the thing.
Yeah, because if they lose the House, though, and you know the Republicans, you know, Hakeem gonna block some bills with the Republicans gonna try to get passed through the Senate to the House and through the House.
Yeah. All right, I'm about to get out of here. Since this question just came up, I'm gonna answer this last question in the short form. Young Slim said, "How can we fix it with the files, with the e-files?" Don't say the whole name again. Here's how you gotta fix it, and it's ugly. Once they were out, people would see both sides got people on it. So what people would have to do is go after both sides, whoever on it equally, lock all of them up, take all their power away, and then you'd have to have new elections for those spaces. The people that were in power, have new elections for them. See, the people can't be partisan and say, well, it's a Trump hoax, or it's for Trump, or it's for Democrat. No, forget all of that. What does the facts say, and follow that, and get all of that whose side you on crap out of there. You should be on the side of the American people and making America, a better place. And so whoever's on there, you got to take care of it, get them out of there, hold elections with people that ain't trying to get rich, doing this and that, put in laws where other countries can't give money, and try to take as much money out of politics as possible to prevent from corruption coming back. And I think that's a big start. I don't think we should rip up the Constitution and stuff like that. I just think you got to get rid of the people that's corrupt and put people in there that's not. The problem is people get scared because you might get popped. I've been wanting to run for politics for like 30 years, but I don't know, man. I ain't trying to get popped, you know what I'm saying? Could have stayed on the corner if I wanted to get popped. Anyway, I think that's the way it worked. It's going to be ugly. Maybe people you like would have to go down. But at the end, why do you like them? I don't know why people like people that they don't know. You don't know them.
They don't care nothing about you.
They don't. Like,
and them people are crooks.
They are. And like people carrying flags for them or going and marching for them I could not do that. How could you do that? That's just.
And then it would be an attack coming when the police come. You'd be beat down with a billy club. They'd be throwing tear gas and shooting you with a BB gun.
With a BB gun. Billy came with the BB gun, man.
No, I mean, to me, protesting, man, no, I can't do that.
Not for nothing stupid. Protesting is good for the right reasons. Now, people can say, well, your right reason and their right. Protesting against tyranny and oppression, civil rights, things like that are good reasons. Protesting for what? Stop the steal or something? I don't know about that. The Black Lives Matter, George Floyd, to a certain extent, I get that. Would I, especially during COVID, go out there, possibly catch COVID or get sprayed and fall over there? I don't know. I doubt it. That's a difficult one. The George Floyd thing, I supported it. I don't know if I would have went and did. Protests are for young people. Although when I was young, I didn't do it either. But I ain't have done to get into. But I think the older you get, man, don't get out there. Because you too vulnerable. You done fell out and got your old ass hurt, knocked over and shit. People, hey, old man.
And people be walking on, we be walking on you while you on the ground.
For real. And you get bumped and stuff, and people got to run and tear gas, rubber bullet. Take your old ass home. Straight up, man. I'm too old for that, man. I ain't running and getting shot, pushed over by some 20-year-old falling. Put some milk in my eye. Put the milk. That's too much. But for the young folks, go for it. It's a noble act. A noble act. I support it. I was just not able to do it. But go for it, man. I'm too old. I'm too old for this shit. I was looking at this old dude. He was at a Black Lives Matter during all of that. I don't know if you all may have seen this video, but it was an old white man. Looked like he was maybe even in his 70s or something. And he was like on the curb, and he was like just talking to some guards. They was in like full gear, and they walked up and pushed him, and he like took a couple steps back. To the officer's credit, it didn't look as bad as some things I've seen. He gave him like a one-handed push. But this dude too old for that. And he took like 3-4 steps back. When you take 3-4 steps back off of, then he fell. And he fell back and hit his head. And then you can see blood start coming out his nose. I'm like, damn. This dude fell back off of one push, hit his head and nose bleeding out. He couldn't even move, laid out like, oh, man. Riggs, you too old for this. Straight up, man. So, anyway, let me get up out of here, man. You looking at that story like, dead. It's crap day. Let me get up out of here, y'all. Yeah, you got to take the corruption out of it. The way you take corruption out is take the money out. Because then, what other way can they influence? What, threaten to shoot you? Which then, you can't have all the politicians dropping dead. Then the people will come for you. Oh, I'm glad I said that, though, before I go. It is something I wanted to bring up. One last story. They, speaking of trying to kill people, the Syrian president, who's now living in Russia, somebody tried to assassinate him by poisoning him, but he survived. They tried to poison me, but I survived. Man, this go back to my point earlier that I was saying is that I learned early at a young age in Chicago, if somebody wants you, you got a big problem on your hands, man.
You got a boundary over your head.
Man, more than a boundary. If somebody is really trying to get you, depending on who it is, especially, you really in a bad spot because you got to get food. You got to go outside. You got to do. it's just so much that we do around other people that it's like, oh man, you never want that in your life. You never want that in your life. I never had nobody trying to whack me, thankfully. I have had some beefs, but thankfully we were young and nobody was trying to really do nothing to nobody. But as you get older, you got somebody be waiting for you at work or waiting by your house or doing this or coming in or breaking. I mean, I understand as I get older more and more about women and stalkers and stuff, because that's just got to be the worst. Have somebody just hiding in the bushes waiting for your ass. It's just crazy. So imagine somebody poisoning your food or putting antifreeze in your Kool-Aid or something. Just wild out here, man. You got to go and farm your own food, cook it, eat it. It's hard out here for a pimp. Anyway, let me get up out of here. Steve, you have you a good weekend. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Yeah, man, I'm ready for this force so we can laugh at
Yeah, so we can chit chat.
yeah, we can laugh at the adventures of Tommy.
Yeah, but then they're gonna be in them taking a break because the store they don't like to do power on the holidays.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they don't take too many breaks or take a break at
Yeah, though,
all.
because and wait to come back December around come January to add back.
Yeah, they probably will take a break and stretch it out, especially since it's the last season they made. You're right. So we'll see. They filmed it last year. That's the thing with this
And
stuff.
they wait too long.
Take a year to get it out.
Look at Pete Valley. They wait too long to come back.
Man, they done lost their audience damn near. I ain't even interested in that show no more. Yeah, I didn't even watch that Down in the Valley stuff they brought out where they was riding like a reality show or something. Did you watch it?
Nope. I say if that, I'm not interested.
See what I mean? They lose.
That's a bunch of bull.
Yep. And I mean, life goes on. People find other stuff to watch, got other stuff going on, run out of time, do this, forgot about that. That's why I still come back, because I know y'all been and forgot about me as it is already. So
Yeah, like you gonna go away that easy.
hey, I might. Ain't nobody watching. I ain't gonna talk to myself. Yeah, being real, shoot. Yeah, Peacemaker was good, man. That was kind of scary. If anybody watched Peacemaker, this new dimension he in, it's a whole new America. I tell you, it might be what we looking at in a few years if we
Do
don't.
you check out Shay in the City, Trace and Nell? Do you check they on YouTube? Cause they cover power too, but they do reality lock up. They would cover that, and they do real love. They cover that.
I ain't even heard of that show. Real Love. Who was in that? What's that about?
That's a movie. That's a show.
Oh, see, I don't know nothing about it. Never even heard of that. I don't like love. No, I'm just ain't no love. Only gangsters in here, man. Nah.
Like Bob Bland say, ain't no love, baby.
Ain't no love gone when she gone. Anyway.
Ain't no sunshine when she gone away.
I tried to remix it. You say, ain't no sunshine. All right, man. You have you a good one, Steve.
Peace.
All right. Yep. Peace, my brother. Everybody, y'all have a good weekend. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Y'all be safe. I'm out.